There we go. There's some noise. Was that Liana? Okay, well, the concept's there. So if you do have any questions, then just sing out. So I'll just get started. So as mentioned, my name's Nick Fredrickson. So you've come along tonight to learn as much as you can and ask as many questions as you need to. So tonight is your night. This is for you guys to get as much out of it as you can. I'm here to help and to pass on knowledge and ideas and answer the curly questions or the simple ones. So please use this as best you can. There is some rough structure or guideline to how tonight's going to go, but for the majority of it, we can be sidetracked by your questions. And also, if you're okay with this, I've actually started recording this session. As you may have seen, there's lots of other sessions that we've recorded and we put them up on YouTube afterwards. So if everyone's cool with that, then great. If not, then let me know and I can stop recording. Otherwise, we'll just record this and put it up on YouTube at the end of the session. So you can pass it on to the rest of your committee or pass it on to whoever else you need to, and then we can pass the knowledge around. So all the webinars from the last 4 or 5 weeks are all posted up on YouTube as well. So you can go have a look at those. So the overview for tonight, first of all, we're going to be looking at how all these different bits of the product work and what they do and how they kind of integrate with each other. So I'm just going to slide on in. So for most of you, the journey starts for your athletes when they register online. And for pretty well most of you...
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Someone can't hear me? Is that Ryan? You can't hear me?
Hello?
Is that better, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Everyone can hear me okay? Was I blocked out there, was I?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. How long ago did I block out? All right, so just going to give you a run through again. So what we've got here is where the journey starts. So for everybody, it's all in registration land. I'm just going to kill someone's mic here, just so we don't have any background noise. So the journey starts for everybody up here in in IMG or Sports Technology Group for registrations. That means all your athletes are hopefully registering there themselves, and then those registrations, providing they're active and financial, come across to ResultsHQ. So ResultsHQ, just like IMG and just like NetBank or Facebook or any of those things, they're all web-based. So as long as you've got a browser and you've got some internet connection, then you're able to jump in and use ResultsHQ. So whether that's on an iPad, on an Android phone, on a Windows laptop, it doesn't matter. As long as there's internet and a browser, then you can jump in and use this. However, not everybody has awesome internet or even good internet where they are when they're trying to record all their results. So what we do have then are 2 little offshoot applications that do not require internet, but allow you to record results from your track and from your field without any internet at the location. And then when you get somewhere where there is internet, or you have the ability to use a hotspot, then you can go and push up results to ResultsHQ. And the moment you do that, what it's all about at the end of the day is the family. So all those kids wanting to see their tickets and results. Again, this is web-based. On their phone or laptop or iPad or tablet, whatever it happens to be, they'll see that straight away. So if you do have internet, then sweet, you could just keep using ResultsHQ. If you're looking for ways to get away from needing internet while you're recording your data, then you've got these 2 applications that help record it without internet. The default for both of these applications is Windows. So not Apple, not iPads, not an Android tablet. The default is Windows. However, Competition HQ does have an Android component that you can use. The timing software, Race HQ, doesn't allow you to be on Android. Somebody have a question?
I have the same thing.
Yes. Those are condom.
Those are messages? Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a question there from Daniel?
Yes. So maybe it's a problem
A
there.
general problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to look at next, now that we've kind of talked through,
Down there.
Daniel, you keep unmuting your microphone and we can hear the conversation.
He's playing with my settings.
So I'll just turn your mic off. So what we're going to look at next is we've talked about these three components. So your state bodies have now given you access to these. So you won't get any invoicing from us. This is all up for you to choose whether you just want to use ResultsHQ or whether you want to add on these other two applications. And either way, there's no cost incurred. If you do have any sort of timing apparatus, whether it's Finish Links or Amiga Photo Finish, or you've got some Tasmanian timing gates, the ATP systems, or you've got our wireless timing systems, either way, this one application will talk to all of those so that you don't have to worry about getting any extra hardware if you've already got some of those invested in at your center. Otherwise, you can just use it like a Seiko multi-timer. So if there isn't any questions around this, I'm going to jump straight in now to RaceHQ and just show you what that looks like. And then we're just going to push some data up to ResultsHQ, so just so you can see what that whole process is like. And then we'll jump into CompetitionHQ and show you what that's capabilities are. So I'll just jump onto my desktop. So as mentioned, these are Windows-based, and I'm on a Windows laptop right now. So I'm just going to go to the timing software, which is this one here. Just going to double click, get it started up. There's some options with this software that every time I turn it on, it will try and check in and bring down my latest members, PBs, records, and events. Otherwise, if I wanted to, I can come up here and just do this manually. I'm just going to hit refresh. It's hooking into my demo center where I've got the profile set up tonight. I've got the password in and it's brought down my latest members, PB data, center records, and event data. If I want to see who my members are, I can jump in here and I can see the member numbers and names and age, genders. If I want to have a look at the center records and so on, that's all in this menu, plus a bunch of other things in here if I'm using any other bits of hardware I need to hook up. So the default for this application is to use PAC, meaning a Seiko multi-timer. So I don't have to connect anything up. If I did have some timing gates, I could go and turn them on and start using those to time my PAC race. But for most of you out there, you'll just treat this like a Seiko multi-timer. So when I'm ready to go, which I am, I just hit Go Race, expand this out. Now we've got the timing screen. So this is effectively you holding the Seiko multi-timer, but it's got some extra smarts, which we'll run through in a second. So to start the race, I could click on the start button. However, I'm not very good with using my mouse, and particularly if I'm looking around, I tend to kind of move the mouse as I'm moving my head to look for wherever the starter is. So I like using the control key on my keyboard. So I just hit the control key. You can see I've started a race. Has someone got a question?
If you can hear us, Nick, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We have no volume still. We can't hear.
Daniel? I can... Hi, Daniel. I can hear you. You can see that? And you have no volume too. Okay, if no volume, try logging out and come back in.
Okay, thanks, Nick. I'll give it a go.
No worries. Okay, so they're just going to log out and jump back in. So on this screen here, I can choose my distances, but I don't even have to before I start recording. So I'm just going to hit the Shift key now. So as quick as I can hit the key, I'm creating times. I still haven't selected an event. And from here, I just go and start to put in some numbers. Or I can start typing some names.
Got you now, Nick. Thank you.
You got me? Back in? Good.
Yeah, I've got you, thanks.
Good work. No worries, Daniel. Just turn your camera off
Thanks,
if you
Nick.
like.
Yep.
And we'll put you
Yeah,
back
I
on
prefer
mute.
to do that.
No worries. So we can either key in an athlete's number, or if we had a barcode scanner or something like that, we could read in the number, like so. Or what we can do, we can start, let's say they don't have their bib on and we don't know what number they are and they can't remember their number, but hopefully they know their name. Then we can just start typing in a name. If it's a visitor and we just want to put a placeholder in for this visitor, I can just start writing visitor Jack, and it's cool with that. It won't know their age or gender because obviously it's just an unknown person, but there's a placeholder that we can look at later on. It's then giving me my gender category places here as well as my outright places. So it doesn't worry if we've got mixed age gender, it's totally cool with that, as long as you're cool with it. So I just finished the rest of this race off. Now that we've got them in, we can turn alerts on to let you know that you've got the same numbers in. So I'll just make this an individual. There we go. We can see we've got the gender colors happening, clock's still running. If we needed to, we could start the next race. Let's say it is a distance race and someone's got a stitch and they're walking up the home straight. Meanwhile, we're ready to go for the next race. Well, then great, we just get that next race started. I just use the hotkey being Alt. Now we can see this race is going. Finally, little Tommy that had a stitch and was having a laugh, he's just come home, so we'll put Tommy in there. Now Tommy's in. I'll stop this race. And this is when I can choose to select the event. And as we do so, it's given us straight away who's got a PB. So everyone's got a PB so far. What this also lets you do, if there's a record, it would flag that there's a record. Someone's got their microphone on again. Oh, no, all good. So that's how the timing software works. So now as I press save, what that's going to do, that's saved it into the background. If I want to go and look at this, I can also finish this race here. But if I wanted to go and have a look at my saved events, here's Visitor Jack, the one that was an unknown athlete. So any defaulted unknown athletes appear on this screen. Otherwise, I could go to the race that I was just in. And when that loads up, we can see that race. So if I needed to edit something, edit a name or an athlete or edit a time, then I could edit a time as well and then re-upload the data. I could upload right now as well. So I just hit the upload button. It's going to go and start uploading and tell me who it uploaded and who it did not, based on the matching age gender events that's up in the system. So I'll just close out of this screen. This race is happening now, and we can overlap another race. Let's make this 100 meter, and I'll put some names in there again. And we'll stop. And I could start another race again and just keep repeating that cycle. There is an option here that as I press save, it's going to try and upload results for me. So as we press save now, it's going to try and upload the ones that it can. And then that's how you use the timing software. So effectively, it's a Seiko multi-timer, but with some extra smarts, meaning it shows you who they are, if they did a record, if they did a PB, as well as it's going to go and upload that data. So in theory, it's one person doing one touch to get it in, instead of traditionally with a Seiko multi-timer, print off a recording sheet, get out your Seiko, look for the smoke, press control, look for the finish, press your finish button as many times as you need, print off that ticket, staple it to this other bit of paper, someone else starts writing down who's who, then that bit of paper and that handwriting and that ticket go to another table, which then goes and processes and gets it in. So all those steps effectively have been taken control by one person here. You can look to add some hardware, which will cost some money, as in a wireless start device. So instead of me looking for the looking for the smoke and hitting control, the wireless start device will do that automatically when the cap goes off. And instead of me looking at the finish for when there's someone finishing and hitting the shift key, somebody else is pressing the wireless button that does that. So my job has now been taken out of my hands. I don't have to worry about the start. I don't have to worry about the finish. And all I'm doing now is just keying in athletes. And then my job's done. The cool part is since we've been doing saves and uploads, if we go back up to ResultsHQ for tonight, we'll then have some results that we've just been uploading. So straight away, we've got results up here, which also then means these athletes will have a new ticket in their home area and a new dot on their graph, and we haven't had to do anything except use this bit of timing software and run races. There's no other steps required to get it out to the athletes. So if you were running live internet at the finish line, you press save, it uploads, job's done. They've got their ticket and all their information before they've left the track, basically. Any questions about the timing software? No? Okay, I'll move on. So I'll close this down. So the next part of the puzzle was Race HQ. We'll have a quick look now at Competition HQ. So I'll just jump into that one. A bit of a background on Competition HQ. Some people use this, even though they've got good internet, to go about keying in all their paper trail that's coming in. So some of the reasons for that, I'll show you the interface. Even if you've got good internet, sometimes internet can get sluggish, and that just becomes a bit painful opening up web pages and processing in the web environment. So that's one reason. Another one is this one lets you mash together age, gender, events. By that I mean I can click on male and female and 6 and discus, and I'll bring all those athletes together for me. Or I go about putting in the 7s as well, and I'll bring together those athletes for me too. Versus in ResultsHQ, you can only ever have one age, gender on your screen at one point in time. So that's some of the pros and cons. So for some people, they use this even though they've got good internet. They key all their data in, and then they go and upload when they're finished. Job's done. This also lets you put in 3 attempts. By that, if I, where are we now? We're at 7 female discus. If I put in 12:34, if I hit the tab button, it goes across, gives me my best and the place so far. If I put in 13:42 and hit the return key, I go down. So it's already picked out the best. I've only put in 2 results, but so far that will be the time that Laura will use or will get for this event. If we're keying in from paper and I don't want to have to put in 2 or 3 attempts, this also then is just flagged that there's a record as well as a PB, and I haven't uploaded this result yet. Let's say Sky had a no jump. I can put in a N for no, and it defaults that to no throw, changes the status here to no throw, versus OK is the good result function, and DNS is for anything that doesn't have a result. I can click on this, however, and make it participate if I wanted to for this particular athlete. So if I'm just using paper and only want to put in one result being the best, then all I do is just go and put in some numbers and just keep hitting enter and going down the screen. So that's one way to get it in. It's nice and quick. Otherwise, if you want to put in 2 or 3 attempts and you work across using your tab, and again, it's going to work out the placings and so on for you from there. Once we've gone and finished this event, all I need to do, and that's the thing, you may notice there's no save button on this screen. That's because this application, the moment you move from one cell to the next, it's saving automatically. So even if the laptop crashed right now and we needed to reboot the laptop for whatever reason, it's just done a software install when you didn't want it to, then you'll be able to come back to this combination and these results will be sitting here. And once you're happy with your results, you just go and hit the upload button and we'll go and push those results up. They've all gone up, so we can go give that a sense check. I come back up here to ResultsHQ, go to with results. Here's our discus, and here's our athletes that we just put in, and even the participate and the no throw have come through all the way from down here. So that's how you can use this for your field events. as well as if you needed to, if you didn't want to use the timing software, but you've got bits of paper and you want to key it in, then just use this screen as well. The other cool part about this application, if I denominate everyone, which I can just use with this, the minus button, yes, remove everyone from the event. I'm starting with a clean skin, basically. I don't even have the age and gender, I've just got the event. My bit of paper says that athlete 27 did a 15:32, enter. And then athlete 65 did a 19, sorry, go back, did a 19, that's a good one, I've just found a bug. If you hit the Control Shift, it doesn't like that. So good one, it's just crashing on us, so let's close it. Cancel, get it out of there, fire it back up again. It's on my desktop. Come back in. And then we should be able to bring up this same combination, and I'll have those results there waiting for us. So 100 meters, and who did I have in there? There we go, there they are. So I can go and denominate everyone. And I'll make this a 19 now. And then my next athlete was 67, or yeah, 70, 67, and they did a 15:43, sorry, 25:43. So that's all we need to do to key things in. I don't have to go and select everything. I can just have all these off, and then I'll be putting data in there. And then that's how you can key in your track. Or you just load it and run with it that way. The other way to actually do this is if you're out at high jump. This is one of my favorite events, at least using this application. So I'm just going to kill the list. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. High jump is tricky generally because most volunteers don't know how to use or don't understand count back. It's got a few little tricks to it, particularly if you're new to the game. So I'm just going to put in a height. I've got 3 heights here, 1 meter, 110, 120, just because I'm lazy, just doing nice easy numbers. Now, if somebody clears this height, I click once and I get a green circle. They're now the best in their first place. It's a PB for this athlete. This athlete here doesn't, but they do on their second attempt. Cool, they're now second, same height, PB as well, not uploaded. This athlete here doesn't, and then does. They're now third, same height, and so on. This athlete, however, Lucy, is a hotshot, and she wants to sit out and wait for the next round before she can go and have a jump. Meanwhile, this athlete here fails 100% and doesn't actually get past this round. If I just scroll across, you can see here we've got a no jump and a no jump is the current status. Someone else is trying to join in. Kate's just joining back in. Hey, Kate. You there, Kate? Yep. Hey, Kate, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm back.
You're back. All right, we'll just mute your microphone and we'll just continue on if that's all right.
Someone removed me, I think.
All
That's
right.
what it told me.
Okay, so in here, we've now got 3 people that have cleared, 1 person that's sitting out, and nobody else that's come across, which means I can't actually let these guys get an attempt because they haven't cleared this height. Anybody else, however, I can click, and we've now got a new first place based on the height outright, and if everybody else clears the height, then we've still got first and third and fourth. This lets you take up to 25 height attempts. So if you've got some crazy jump off happening, then you can have up to 25 heights to get that event sorted out. So that's Competition HQ. It lets you do your track and your field and also your high jump. Any questions so far about this application? Nope. Okay, so we'll jump out of here. So going back to the list of things we got here, so we've just gone through the timing software, competition HQ, uploading results straight away, which then also means the family get to see these results straight away. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, I guess, is the kids and what they get out of it and keeping them engaged to help your club build its numbers and become stronger and more pronounced in your region and zone. So that's what we're trying to help everyone here with and give the kids a more interactive experience. So what we might as well do right now is just jump straight in case you haven't been into the behind the scenes for the family. This is just a demo family that we're logging into now. So I'm just going to jump on in. So in here, this is the Smith family. They've got a number of kids. They've got Robert, Owen, Eric, Danielle, and Danielle. If they wanted to change their profile photos, then all they need to do is come over here to profile. And then in profile, this is where they can edit their username and password and so on. This is where they can then update their photo or their avatar and some of the other bits of information. So that's how they go about setting themselves up. But let's just focus on one of the athletes here. So let's have a look at Robert's 800. Let's see what he did here. So we can see here Robert's full history of his 800s. If I mouse over these, it tells me the date and the result that he got. This table below here also shows me the date and the result and the place that he got, as well as the PBs. So we can see here he did much better at the start of the season and slowed up towards the end. It also shows which center he got these results in. So the cool part about this is if you're an athlete and you're part of your local center, and then maybe you go to an inter-center gala day, and then you go to a region and a zone and a state, in theory, there's no reason why, if all that data is coming back into those profiles at the Results HQ level, that you would then see the histories of 800 across my home center, across an inter-gala, as well as a zone, a region, and a state event. So the full history for the season for my 800s doesn't matter where it was recorded, all comes back into this one screen. And then to the right here, we've got all the events I've done for the whole season. Now I can click on one of these. I can now see how my discus has gone, or my turbo jav, or my 200s. And each time I do that, the focus is now on this event. I can look at my tickets for these events. So if we were running the timing software and we happen to have some internet happening, and as I press save, I'm uploading, there would be a new dot on the graph here and a new ticket in my ticket area for that particular event. If I wanted to look at not by event type, but by date, if I click on the date, it will then load up everything that I did for this date. And again, I can look at my tickets by this event, by this date type as well. Let's close some of these screens down. If I wanted to look at everything, all my tickets, then I just come into calendar. Once this loads up, I can look at Robert and all the tickets that he's done. There's a whole heap of tickets there. So that's Robert, and I can go have a look at all these different dates and drill down into it and see what happened on the 13th. See what the results were for my whole family. That's what everyone did on the 13th. Here's tickets for Owen. This little printer just brings up a little report which shows you like a print-off friendly version of what it is. So that's the family area. If you've got this option turned on for results, and basically what that means is it lets whoever is in the family that has access to the family area come in here and just have a look at what other peers are doing for different events, assuming that there's some results in one of these dates. I can find a combination. There we go. See what they did in triple. So here's all the triples that happened on that date for the 12 males and who got PBs and so on. So that's what that is. That's optional. You don't have to have that available for your center. And if I wanted to go and look at historical results, then I could go do the same bit for other seasons. The default is also to show your records. So in here, I could look at any of these and it will start showing me who's got the record for 14 male 200. And it was this athlete that did it in 2004. And if I wanted to look at historical records or just view everything, then it just gives them all this information at their fingertips. Any questions about the family area?
Yeah, while you're there, I'm assuming that those historical records would update automatically as a new record's created?
These ones under records.
Yes.
Yes, so if we're back in ResultsHQ land, the moment, let's say this one here, current record is 16.8. If I go in here and I enter a result that's greater than that, well, most of these are, it will ask me, do I want to update this? I'll put a new one in of 30 meters. As I press save, it's saying, wow, you've just beaten the old one. Do you want to accept this record? Or do you just want to accept the results but discard the record? So even if we did this option here, we've still got a record that's going to be 16.8. But if we come back up to the higher level, so this date here, I can go to potential records. And at this point in time, it shows me all the potential records that have occurred on this meet. So I could come here and go, oh, that's Ashley. The committee's agreed that should be the right one. I'm just going to make this a center record. She now has the new records. If I just go back a couple of screens and refresh, with results, discus, the new record here is 30 meters. So I can either do it as I'm keying it and accept it, or wait until later on and bring up my report for that week and accept whichever ones I need to accept. And then whichever way you do it, that will then flow through to this screen here and everywhere else that it needs to go to, your recording sheets and so on. Good question. Any other questions? No. Okay, so I'll jump back into where we were. So where are we up to now? It's been half an hour since we started. So we've got registrations come from IMG. As long as they're active and financial, will come across the ResultsHQ. So you control that. You press a button whenever you want that to happen. This is in the cloud. These two are not requiring internet, apart from to bring down the initial members, PBs, records, events, but then they can remain offline for the rest of the morning or the night, and then go and upload information in one big batch or race by race or event by event, depending on how your internet works out. The moment data is either keyed into ResultsHQ or uploaded from here, the families get to see it, and that's that last part we were just looking at now. Tickets, graphs, all those sorts of things, records, it's all at their fingertips. Is everyone comfortable with that concept and all the moving parts and how they work and what they rely on? If there's any questions, otherwise we can move on to the next part.
Yeah, just another quick question there. If you're working offline,
Yep.
Does what happens in RaceHQ automatically come into CompHQ?
No, so all roads lead back to ResultsHQ. If you wanted to bring, so if you want to get something from RaceHQ to CompetitionHQ, it has to go up to the cloud first, ResultsHQ. Then in CompetitionHQ, you have the option to bring information back down to it, to do whatever you need to do, and then push back up to ResultsHQ.
Thank you.
Good question. Any other questions while we're still looking at this high-level picture? Okay, so moving along. Here's just some more screens just to explain what we've already gone through. So we've got recording sheets. We can key straight into ResultsHQ, or we can use the timing software or CompetitionHQ, either way, pushing data in. But the main focus here is, bang, kids, families. If they've got a smartphone or a tablet down there and you're doing some sort of live results inputting or uploading, then that's pretty cool sitting there, and you can just, as you're walking off the track, mum's already smiling and saying, that's a PB, Johnny, good work, and so on. So that's the outcome that you can get to if you like to. So we've gone through these 3 applications. You may have seen an email or a newsletter from the state bodies or from the national body talking about removing the hard copy achievement book and replacing that with the soft copy. So what we were just looking at in the family area is the current replacement. Obviously it's missing some extra functionality, but just at a high level, what you can see is what we've seen already. Here's just a little version. So this website is adaptive. So if you're on a small screen, i.e. a phone or a tablet, it knows not to try and cram all this into your big screen. It fits in a big screen into your small one, so it changes it and makes it look a bit more like an app. So it's what they call a web app, or it's a website, but it looks and feels like an application where possible, as in an app. What you can also do, you can create, let's say you've got a special event. You can print off your certificate from the day. That's great. Everyone loves a hard copy, shake of the hand, a pat on the back, and a photo while they pick up their certificate. If for whatever reason you can't do that, or you want to give everybody a soft copy version, then instead of printing to a printer, you publish to their family area. So the next time they log into their family area, not so much on their web app, but on the bigger screen here, they'll have a soft copy version of that certificate published through, so they can again not have to print things if they don't want to, but that's the certificate functionality. And then we've had a look at the tickets already. So that's the four main components to what that currently is. Here's just some more screens, but we've already jumped into the real world. Is there a question?
Nick?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Nick. The phone app, is that free or is there a cost involved with that?
So coming back to this thing here, that's a website. So instead of logging into,
We just had we had an email come through from LA, and there was a cost involved. Well, that's what the email stated anyway. I don't know whether that's a cost to LA Vic or a cost to our members.
Yeah, so there was one from the national body that got some people confused, the way they described it. So that's possibly the one that you read where it's talking about an app and so on for ResultsHQ. Is that possibly the one we're talking about now?
Yeah, well, it looks exactly like that. So
yeah, so what the national...
Pretty sure it's from our LA Vic.
Okay, so yeah, there's no cost for the web app. There's no cost for anything from what we've looked at tonight. The only time there will be cost from us is if you happen to want to invest in some hardware. But otherwise, all this software related things that we're looking at tonight is all inclusive. So there's no extras.
Okay, great, thanks.
No worries. Any other questions on that front?
Yeah, Nick, Mike from Kilo.
Yep.
It's getting pretty clever what you can do in the family area.
Yep.
Is there like a web page that we could direct our families to go to? How do I photographs?
So sorry, you want people to be able to adjust their profile picture, that sort of thing?
Yeah, and rather than we having to write something, is there like a page on your website that we can direct people?
Good question. I don't know if we've actually got a support topic on that functionality as yet, but I'll put a little note down and we'll look to get a topic done up for that. So it'll be in the support area.
Because it'll save us having to do the same thing and then the next club and so on.
Correct. Yep. Good idea. Any other questions?
Thanks.
All right. So I'll bounce along. So what the end outcome is for the achievement book concept, we've obviously already got elements of what is in the current book already working, but there's extra areas that we're going to be adding in. So instead of just having a little profile picture on the side in your family area, you'll be able to start customizing your cover, and it will have your name on there or your child's name and their two favorite picks, and then a bit of a bio that comes from the state or national bodies about athletes and distances and so on. And obviously they'll have some advertising and so on in there. But the crux of what's in there, the real bang for buck as far as tickets and seeing what they've done and recording it, but then being able to do a print off at the end of the season if you want to go down to Officeworks or somewhere and get a better quality print off. If you prefer hard copy, then you'll have that option too. So that's what's all in the pipeline. And that's just some screenshots from the web app, the website that's adapted when you see a small screen and it changes the view to look more like this. Okay, so we're up to now 45 minutes into the session. So what we've got next, the last two subjects, this one here is a really important one for those that are returning back this season. If you're a brand new centre, then just keep this in memory, or at least come back next time, next year around this time, and we'll go through it all again. But basically, just getting ready for the season start. So just some really simple things in case you've forgotten how it all works. We've got a big support forum, which has got various topics, and the way to get to it is to either put in this URL, or on every page in ResultsHQ, we'll jump in there now, you've got this option here to bring up some topics or search for things. So I'm just going to come up here to Center Admin area, just come back to my home page. We'll try and put banners around the place like this green one here saying, hey guys, better get ready for the season start. So let's do a rollover. This will then open up the help topic particular to what it is, the season rollover, and just walk you through the steps. Also, on every page on your right-hand menu here, this blue support button sits waiting for you to put in a subject. So if we wanted to put in something like PB, it'll bring up the top 5 topics relating to PBs. Meanwhile, there's another 39 subjects, topics that we could go and look at. Or we go, oh, this is too much. I don't want to read this. I want some direct answers from someone now. So I'm going to open up a ticket and I'll call it PB. And hopefully, if you can put in a bit more detail, it just helps a few less emails trying to figure out exactly what you're trying to chase down. So PB, how to calculate points, and then put in here, hi guys, looking to calculate my points, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure how to do this for PBs. Who you are, your email, which centre you're from, and what it's to do is, this is all to do with ResultsHQ, and then submit. Basically, that will send us a ticket or an email into our support area. We'll then reply back to your email that you put in there, and we can start a conversation. The benefit of having the support tickets is that I'm not sure about your inbox, but mine gets a bit busy and it's hard to kind of track down prior conversations. With the support area, it creates its own little area or inbox that's separate to your normal inbox, where it has all your tickets and it tells you if they're open, if they're closed, or if they're pending, and it lets you just hunt that down directly and without having to even use your emails if you want to. So that's one way to get to the support area. The other one is if you go on, let's go into, say, a date, and I click on this green question mark, it's going to open up the help topic particular to the page that I'm on. So I'm in the results entry area, and it's just open the results entry help page. This is telling me what I'm trying to do and how I go about doing it. So that's the 3 main areas. Otherwise, I can just come all the way back up to the top, like what my little PowerPoint was showing you. And it's got everything to do with ResultsHQ within here, anything to do with the timing software, Competition HQ, if you're using any of our web hosting, if you're doing any of our Regio stuff. And once you're clicked in there, then you have all the subcategories and topics. So if you wanted to have a play around with the timing software that you saw tonight, it's the new 3 series that we're going to go live with soon. It's been running all winter with school carnivals and so on, and other beta groups testing it. This is where you come and grab it and you could download it and start playing with it. Otherwise, here's the current version that's out there. If I wanted to grab Competition HQ to have a play around with it and see if I like it or not, and throw it to some of the committee members to have a play with, and I come here and do the download, first time use and setup, and here's just some other videos and help topics relating to how to navigate around it. So that's the support area. So I can go straight here, I can use my search function, I can go and look at other topics that it suggests, or I can go straight to setting up a ticket and getting some direct answers for the questions that I've got. As far as the season rollover is concerned, what this is doing, it's not deleting anything, it's not locking away, never to be seen again, it's just purely trying to get everything ready for the new season. So it suspends all your members, it archives your results, it updates the season, and then it reminds you to go and update your users. So by archiving the results, we can see here there's a season that's been archived. I'll jump into the live one. If I go to More, Season Rollover, we can see here we're in the right season. It's telling me already we're in 16-17 season, so that's good. if we were out of season, there would be a button here saying update season or asking me to archive my results. I don't want to archive this season, not yet. I can do that at the end of the season. But these other seasons that have been, if I want to export these out, then I can. I just click on the button. It's just thinking for a sec, and then we'll go and export all this out to CSV. And then I can go and hunt through all the data, all the results from last season. So it's not locked away. If I need to do a report about something or go and chase down someone's PB, I open up my Excel, put some filters on the top, and then go and hunt down whoever it is that I need to hunt down. And there's all their results from the season and so on. So that's how you can get to the results. So we're just archiving it. We're not deleting it. It's there if you need to grab it. Suspending the members. We don't always know who's going to come back. So currently on my home page, this is who makes up my current season. When it comes around to next season, I don't know who of these. I hope a fair few of them are going to come back, but we don't know. So we suspend everyone, and then as they start re-registering, then they will start coming back in. There won't be a brand new person. If they're a returning member, then all the legacy of all their results and their history will all be linked up. But if they're a brand new person or a brand new family, that process will go and create a profile for them and bring them in and set them up. So that's all that step's doing. It's not deleting everyone, it's just purely suspending them, archiving them. And the last step, and probably one of the most important ones, is your users. Committees change year on year, hopefully not too much. And so what you need to do then is each year is go and add in any new committee members, delete any old ones. And the benefit of having an individual user is instead of everyone using the one profile to log in, if someone's gone rogue, then you can shut them down. If someone's new and somebody else has left, but you want to keep email trails of who's who, then you can create a new profile for the new person, get rid of the old one. It also allows you to go and see what the history of this user is. So if I need to track down there's been some suspicious activity and I need to be Big Brother, then I can come in here and see what was done and when and what they were trying to do. Otherwise, if I need to see what's happening with everybody, then we can do that in here too. Users are also really handy for if you need to set up your mobile, so that Android app, then this is where you go about setting them up and assigning age, gender events to that particular profile. So that's the last step in the season rollover. So we archive the results, we update the season, so 15-16 changes to 16-17. It does that for you. Question?
Yeah, just in summary, so the first one, yeah, you're about to say it, I think. First thing we do is archive results, then we suspend all members, and then we just muck around with user management for one. That's all we need to do, and we should get a graph that's back to 0 members, correct?
Correct. So once you've archived, this red-blue will disappear. All these dates will disappear. And you just have a clean skin ready for the new season.
Cool.
All good. Any other questions? Great. Okay, so that's the season rollover. Now, we've just had a chat about users, so we've jumped ahead of that one. So that's pretty straightforward. Really important, guys. So set that up. We also use these emails to help communicate out to the different groups of users that we've got there. So if you can keep that up to date, then it'll make our job much easier too. Now we're just going to go through the basics. It's funny, I've had a few people that have been with me for 4 or 5 years, but they still kind of, sometimes it's been 6 months since they've touched it. They're kind of going, how the hell do I set up a program again? I've done it so many times, but it's just been 6 months. So what's the process? So before I do that, I'm just going to give you a quick run through in case you haven't spent much time in the platform. Up the top here is your classic sort of top navigation. This isn't all the options. Everything is on the More page, but this is the most used options for the different groupings or headings that we've got there. Banners are here to try and tell you things or remind you about things. As we scroll down, we've got this graph here with our age gender breakdown. If we want to see who the 10 females are, it's telling me that there's 46 of them. If I click on this, I can drill down and see who everyone is. If I click on their first name, if they've got results, I'll be able to see them. And if I want to see what they've done with their discus, then I can drill into there and it shows me all the discus history that they've got. If I come back up a layer and I click on their last name, it then takes me to the information that's come across as well as their siblings. And if I need to view or update anything to do with the athletes, then I can come in here and do that.
Nick?
Yep.
Do you want to remind us again how you repopulate it with synchronizing with what is now STG results?
Cool. So I'm just going to log out a demo because in my members, this profile doesn't have IMG connected, so I don't have that option. So I'm just going to log out quickly. I'm just going to jump into one that I know does. So I'm just in the Ballarat profile. I won't go and press the buttons, but this is the screen. So if you come up to members and hit IMG import, this here is the mapping table. So there are a few options. In Victoria, this has just been locked down now to just only have the one instead of competition or member number. And if I want it to update or not when I do a sync. So purely all you have to do is put your email in, press the start. It then brings up this. I won't continue on, but is press OK. And then the next step is on your home page. If you came back here, it would start bouncing up with all your new athletes appearing as it starts. So I love doing this. If it's a clean slate, I've just rolled over and there's no members in there. I love coming on the home page, kicking off an IMG sync and hitting the refresh button and seeing that graph grow and grow and grow until it's maxed out, until it's finished all my members syncing. Does that answer that question?
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks, Nick.
No worries. Good question. So just a reminder, if you are doing an IMG sync, that the athletes must be active and they must be financial to come across. There's nothing more frustrating than missing one of those two criteria and pressing IMG sync 10 times in around 5 minutes trying to wonder why this particular athlete that you've just signed up hasn't come across. Because if they're not active and financial, then they won't come over. The other little catch is sometimes there's a bit of a delay from you doing that in IMG to them being available for us to sync over. So if you do it and you've got two tabs open, you click across, come across and do a sync, you may not pick them up. So if you do notice that, just give it a couple minutes and then try a sync again. And as long as they're active and financial, then they'll flow over. So that's one way to find an athlete, is to go and look at their age, gender. Another way is just to type in part of a name. So I'm just putting in TI and it brings back everyone else that has a TI in their name. Obviously that's a pretty broad search. Otherwise, if I put in their number, we'll bring back who that is. And again, if I click on their first name, I go to their results. If I click on their last name, I go to the family area and their siblings. And if I click on update, I go straight to their member information area with the fields that I can edit or update. So that's the other way to find someone, is from the home page using the search, or the home page use the graph. Once you get down below, you've got all these dates which you build out, and we'll run through that next once I've just finished this high level overview of the home page. These dates are what allow you to go and enter results. So it says results for the 24th. So I click on that and this will show me all the results that I could potentially have. The default on this screen is to have the events that do not have any results entered as yet. Hence, participation is 0 of 2, 0 of 27, and so on. Quite a common new or rookie question is, oh, I've just been entering all this data and it's all disappeared. It hasn't actually disappeared, it's just not the default view of this screen. If you hit with results, you'll then see the 1 of 2 and the 2 of 2 and the 20 of 36 and so on that you have entered. So you can relax, they haven't disappeared, The default, if I came back into this screen, is to show me everyone that has not. So in theory, throughout the morning or evening, every time you come in, this will be notching away, getting less and less and less, until you're left with hopefully no events that are empty, or just a handful because that age group wasn't there, or there's a change in the program and you didn't actually end up doing that event. But otherwise, if you need to track an event down, you can use the age and the gender filters, or just go straight to with results. That's the home page, and that's where you get to enter results. And the final step is, once you've found the right one that you want to enter results for, you can just click on it and it will open up that screen and let you key it in. Now, just a quick little tip on this. If I've got all the 7 female bits of paper have just rolled in and landed on my desk and I've got to key them in, instead of clicking in, entering, coming back out, going to the next one, if I hold my control key down, and you notice up the top of my screen, I've only got 3 tabs open at the moment. I'll make that 2 tabs. If I hold down my control key and click on long jump, there's a new tab, 400, another tab, high jump, another, and 100. I've now got these 4 tabs open. So if I come through and go enter edit, key in whatever I need to key in here, press save, enter edit, key in whatever I have to do, press save, and so on, then it saves me jumping in and out all these screens. Then just simply shut those tabs down, and then I go and do the 7 male. Hold my control down, click and open. So again, this is why some people prefer to use Competition HQ, even though they've got good internet, just to make it simpler and easier to get to events versus having a page and opening a page and closing a page, versus Competition HQ, you may remember, where it's just there, it's just on your screen, there's no opening and closing pages. So that's how you enter results and where you go to get them. The next part of the home screen is this attendance. You may be able to see it says 11 of 716. So there's a total of 716 members in this demo center. And on the 24th, only 11 of them actually have a result recorded. They may have 5 results for one athlete and 1 result for another, but it's still 11 athletes in total. If I want to see any information about attendance, then again, you can click on it and you can sort these columns. So this athlete here has the most, been 7 times, that's 25% attendance rate so far. And that's because we can see lots of dates here that are empty, because it's just a bit of a dummy database. That's why she's only got 25%. PBs, there's been 7 PBs on this particular date. Let's see who they are. There they are, and that's how many PBs they've got. Again, first name, last name to look at results or family area. There's also been 1 center record that's occurred on this night. Let's go see who it is. That's our 30-meter discus that Alicia put in earlier. And then there's been no points calculated. So if you are doing lots of regular points calculations, this is your little litmus test. If you can see numbers apart from 0 in this screen, then you know that your points are being calculated. And at a visual sense, you can give a bit of a finger in the air test and go, all right, that looks similar to the other weeks, so these are all looking pretty good, without me having to go and analyze anything. But if there's a big drop in points, even though it's the same level of attendance, then you know that something's up, and go and have a look and find out why it hasn't calculated properly. That's your home page. But going back to where we're up to, so we just hit the 1 hour marker, is how to set up a new meet. So I'm just going to go and hit season calendar. To get to the same screen, I can come up here to event and calendar. Either way, we get to the same location. These are all the dates that are on my home screen that have been added to my calendar. Someone's trying to join in. Hey, Kate. You there, Kate? Yep, coming back in. Okay, so these are all the dates that have been added. So we're just going to add a new one. So this is tonight, but I'm going to add one for a couple of weeks' time. So hit the plus button. I can put in a description. And if I want to, call it Program A and give it a date for a few weeks' time. So let's go into September sometime. I'll make it a Wednesday afternoon. Now my options are create a meet from scratch by choosing my age, gender, events and layering them in. That's one way to do it. And then below here, we start to see what we've added in. Now, obviously, that's going to be painful each week doing that. So the quick ways to do it, or the quick options are, I've got all the meets that I've done up to this point in time. And let's say I'm on a 3-week rotation. I've gone and built out my first week. Cool. Then when it comes 3 weeks down the track, I can just go and copy my first week again. And I can preview it to make sure I've selected the right date. And it's just got shot put for 6 and 7 females and go, yep, cool, that's the one I wanted. And I go and add it in. That's now going to go and add in shot put into my female events. If I wanted to add another one in on top of that again, I can just keep layering it up with whatever. Once I've previewed one, if I really like it, I could add it to my favorites, which then means next time I'm in here, this top section here has all my favorites. So if I am running a 3-week rotation and the first 3 weeks I then make them favorites, they'll always be in my top and I don't have to worry about anything else. If we've uploaded results for you from last season just to help catch up, then all that will also be in here. Whoop. This one goes all the way down to 2013 of all the different programs and events that have been loaded in here. The other option is I want to make this one a template. I don't want it to become something that could get tampered with. This is my holy grail. I do not want this touched. So once you've gone through those steps, I can go show advance and give it a name. Demo 2, submit it. This is now a template that I can use moving forward. And where's demo 2? There it is. And whenever I need to use demo 2 program, it's a template that's sitting there ready for me to go. The last option, just because you didn't have enough, is you can import one. So if you go to someone's carnival and you think, that was a cracker program, I love that, I really want to try that at our center, you could ask them to come and export it. You could then get it emailed to you. You then come in here and you hunt for it and you suck it up into your program. And now you've copied their template into yours and you go and save it as your favorite or save it as a template for yourself. So that's the different ways to go about setting up your meet. Any questions? Okay, so we've just gone and set up the September one. What can happen, and happens quite a bit, especially with some average weather around, you've got to change things. So we've gone and set up the 7th of September, but then due to weather or hot weather, or rain or whatever it is, I need to go and edit this date. So again, I can click on season calendar. I come up here. If I hit the eyeball, I can now view, edit something. I want to take discus out. I could just hit the delete button and it'll take discus out. Yes, I'm sure. We've now gotten rid of the discus out of our lineup. I can also go to the list view, which gives me all this without it being in a matrix, and I can click on these to sort them, however I need to sort them. And again, I can delete it, or I can update some information, what time I want it to start, the order and so on, if there's any rounding and so on from there. There's a whole variety of things. So that's how you can go and edit. Then I can go and add in some extra events that we need to because of weather. We're now doing javelin instead of shot put for some other reason. Someone lost the shot puts. So that's how you go and edit or update an event. Once the event is there, providing you've got all your athletes, then you're ready to go and print some recording sheets. So before you do recording sheets, it's a good idea to do one more sync to bring across all your members to make sure you've got everyone covered off. But then once they're in there, either again, click on this recording forms or come up here to event and recording forms. Once I'm in here, the date tries to find the most logical date for me. So it knows there's a program in for today. So it thinks I'm going to help you out and I'm going to grab that. But if I wanted to, I could jump ahead to any other date. It then lets me filter out to just a single event grouping or a combination, or if you're not familiar with the control key on your keyboard, if I click on this one, hold control and then click on this, I can now select 2 independent ones without having to drag across and pick up 3. So again, I could then filter on these 2 or just the one, any particular age groups that I need to, or just everyone. So just for interest, I'm just going to do all. If we are running age grouping, which just purely means for recording sheets, we'll have whichever age grouping you've set up on there. So your 6 to 7s, males and females, you may call them the juniors mixed, and that's the 6 and 7 females would print off on the one page. If we are running heat, semis or finals, then this is where we can choose that. If we need to filter on clubs, then we can. If we need to add blank rows because it's the start of the season, and at the start of the season you're going to have newbies turning up that won't be in the system, but you want nice, neat lines for somebody to write that information on, then go and give them some nice, neat rows to put on there. The default is regular recording sheets. There is condensed. I'll do one of each just to let you see what it is without me talking too much. So I'll just hit preview sheets now. When this loads up, because I've added blank rows, it's gone and put them in there. If there are athletes, then it puts them in and then the blank rows underneath. If there are any athletes with PBs, then that will be on the sheet. If there's any athletes with, if there's any records in that event, then it'll be on that sheet too. So I'm just going to do a search for 30. There's that record that we had before. It's a 7 female discus, so that's the new record is now on the recording sheet, and it was done in the 16-17 season. And that's her sitting right there. That's her PB now. Then all we need to do at this point in time, if I hit the print button, it splits them out into single A4 per sheet. So that's how they'll all print out. So that's regular. One age gender event per A4. Instead of regular, some centers, particularly smaller ones, really like the condensed. So I'll bring one of those up. So condensed. This one A4 now has 1, 2, 3, 4 events on there. So instead of 4 bits of A4, we've now cut that down to 1 bit of A4. So if I go Control P again for print, I can see I've got, when it loads up, I've got my 2 athletes and my blank rows. My field events had the 3 attempts and a big area to put my best in. And then my track events just have the 1 area to put it in. So that's the difference between condensed and regular. So depending on your center and the size of your center, you may run a combination of those, but that's what they're about. Then you've got the options here to print it all off by age group or by event grouping or by event order if you happen to run that. And there's a bunch of other ones. When it comes to high jump, because it's a bit special, high jump, if I hit the preview on that one, it tends to be landscape for obvious reasons because it's a wide sheet. It gives you up to 10 height attempts, and for each height you get to put in your circle, your dash and your X to say if they've jumped it or cleared it or sitting out and so on, then the final result. It says all my high jumps. So that's recording sheets. Any questions on recording sheets? Okay, cool. So just to recap, to go and add a new event to my calendar, hit on season calendar or go to event calendar. I always tend to come to the top because I'm not always on the home page. Hit the plus button to go and add a new one, or hit the eyeball to go and edit an existing one. Once I've done that, I do my IMG sync, so go to members and IMG import. Once I've done that, I should see my home graphs updated, looking nice and healthy. I can see on my home page I've got my date there with the relevant events. Print my recording sheets. They come back in, and I now start tapping in the results against that date. So I click on the date itself, find the relevant age, gender, event combinations, and start tapping in the results. Either accept the results, accept the results in the records as I go, or just accept the results, and then if I need to come in here to go and acknowledge any records after that point in time. And then that pretty well covers off your weekly routine that you would go through there. Any questions? If you are running any timing hardware, in case you haven't already, give them a little service, check the batteries, check the firmware, check the software, and just basically give it all a little test run before your first morning, just so you're not turning up the track and then trying to understand why things aren't working and who's got the batteries and so on. So it's always a bit of a stress-less moment if you can do it all before that first morning. It's always crazy enough as it is without having to worry about something else. But that's just the last bit of the preparation. Check those bits. One thing we haven't jumped into, and I will do quickly, is just the points. So I had a few questions before the start here about points. So this is where you go to look and set up your points, set up and points. Here's all the different options. If you're looking to use the New South Wales multi-points, then you click on this one. If you're using the Alberta multi-points, you click on that. If you want to set up your PB points or your place or your event or your attendance, and then you click on the relevant one. So if I just go to the multi-point here, this has loaded up the New South Wales multi-points information. If I want to tweak it and edit it, cool, export it, do whatever I need to do in Excel, come and look for it and upload it. Then I've adjusted this en masse. All the templates that you can load in are available here. So this is where you can download it and tweak it, or just apply it straight to your profile. When it comes to points and PBs, this is an interesting one. There's a few options here. Do you want the first result to be a PB? As in the first time little Johnny turns up and throws a shot put, does that make that a PB, or is that just a benchmark for the rest of the season? They have to better to actually get a PB. That's where you get to choose this. Do you want to acknowledge equal PBs or not? And if you do have historical data, do you want the season best from previous season to be used as the benchmark for the new season? So that's your different options there. And then your points. If they equal their PB, do I want it to be 1 or do I want it to be 2? If I click this, then I could make this 5 points if I wanted to for a PB, and 1 for an equals. If I want to do attendance, same sorts of things in here. If they turn up and do 1 event as a minimum, I get 3 points currently, and for every event I do, I get 1 point. Again, I can update this and change it to whatever I need to. This is purely just setting up the framework for your points calculations. I'm just closing some tabs, sorry. Where you actually go and do the calculations and say what you want to happen and when is on your calculate screen. So that was event in calculate. Sorry, probably a bit quick on that one. So that's where you go. In here is where you have all those different points options available to use for any given date that you want to use them for. So if you only want to use this combination for these dates, go for it. That's fine. If you always want to use PB and attendance for every single date, well, that's cool. Just come and tick them on. The moment you've ticked them on, we haven't actually calculated anything. We've just said, based on the structure I've set up on the prior area, this area now is saying that structure needs to be applied to these given dates. And once I'm happy with my setup, I can ask it to do a full season points calculation. Put my email in and it'll send me an email when it's done. I can also come in here and I can do a season best update. I can also do a PB full season calculate as well. If I just want to do one single date, then I can do that. Then all I need to do is just hit on the calculate all button, and that will go through and recalculate everything. If I hit the incremental calculate or the inc calc, if there's already been points calculated, it won't redo everything. It'll just do the ones that haven't been calculated yet. If I want to export out things to audit it and have a look, sweet. If I want to view the points in detail, I can do that too. And if I just want to clean the slate and try again, then I can do that. So you can recalculate and adjust and turn this one on, see what the outcome is, turn that off, recalculate and see what the outcome is. There's no reason to lock yourself into one particular way unless you're happy with the outcome and you want to stay with that. The last part of the puzzle here is the leaderboard. This is where you've got all the different filters to let you choose how you want to sum up the end of season champion view. I can choose particular dates. I can choose particular point type only. I can choose top X. I can choose age, gender, or both, or top number of weeks, and blah, 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 blah. There's so many options here because there's over 200 centres using this around Australia. So everyone's had their little corner of the screen that they want to try and get something out of. And then when we're ready, we just hit the view button. I haven't run any points calcs, hence there's nothing in there, but I'll just do an all and see what we come up with. I think there may be some points in this system. Yeah, there's a little bit. So we can see who our champions are from here. The number of points, meet percentage, event percentage, and total events. Up the top here, if I needed to, I could say I only want to see those that have attended a minimum of 70%. And then I'll shortlist them to only be those athletes in the view. And if I want it to be an age, gender champion and so on, then I can do that too. So that's points. Bit of a flying run through there, but that just gives you a bit of a heads up as to some of the functionality. The last part on here, so we're coming up to an hour 20 at the moment. If you've had enough and you don't need to look at the inter-centre competition nomination area and the live results hub, then I'm totally cool if you want to jump ship. But if you do want to hang online and go through these last couple of steps with me, then feel free to hang out and we can finish that off now. All right, I'll just push on ahead. So what is inter-centre comps and nominations? How does it all work? So this is your current profile on the left. You are just a normal ResultsHQ centre, the same as all the other ones as far as functionalities. Obviously, you've got your own members and results and records and so on. Over on the right is just a replica, exact same shell as your profile is, but it's only over on the right here to help demonstrate what it can do. Your current shell can do exactly what we're describing over here. It's just we're using it over here to help understand that this is a new entity. So you'd say to us, hey guys, we've got a gala day coming up and we're really keen to invite other centres, but we don't want to invite them into our profiles. We don't want that kind of cross-pollinating with our results. We want to have a clean annual profile that we invite people to and run an event in. So yeah, that's cool. What do you want to call it? You tell us it's the PB Gala Fantastic Awesome Event. We call it that. We set it up for you and give you your login information. You then go about doing what you do every other week of the season. You put in a program against a date. And once you've done that, you've then got the option to invite other centres, being your own centre and whoever else you need to invite. And how you go about doing that, if I come in the season calendar, the default here is the eyeball. That's where you go to view and set up your program. This just gives you a high-level view of it. If I needed to nominate anyone from my own centre into my own internal events, then I would do that. However, if I want to invite someone to this cool program, this cool event that I've set up, then I click on the little letter envelope. This then lets me say I want to invite members and also the centres. I now have a list of every single ResultsHQ centre within Australia. Find whichever it is that you want to invite, press submit. I won't do it. They will then receive an invite to come to your event. This is the information here. If I've set up this program and it looks like I've set up 4 events for the 6 female, if I only want them to select their 3 favourite, then as they're trying to nominate, once they get to 3 of the potential 4, it won't let them select the 4th. And then you've got caps. I only want a total of X number of people in a particular event, then I can do that too. And the moment you've done that, they will then in their, next time they log into their season calendar area, if I come in here, this little envelope next to my plus button is any invites that I've received from somewhere else. So they would then go, all right, oh cool, someone's invited me to something. That's probably the gala day coming up. These are out of date, this one, but if I wanted to, it would then have the information about the age, gender events that my athletes can go in, and I could start to nominate them in. If we had it set up so that the families themselves, if I come back in here, the families themselves can nominate, the next time they log into their profile, they'll see an invite in their family area too. And they'll click on that. It'll say the Fantastica Gala Day that Club X has been putting on. And then they'll be able to nominate in without the centre having to do that for the families. The centre can still see it and edit it if they want to. And the final step of approval comes down to you in this screen where you'll see your different centres and the nominations. You then accept those that you want and not accept ones that either haven't paid or you don't want to attend or whatever the reason. So that's what that little chart's trying to describe. Set up a program, invite the athletes and the centres. The athletes and the centres nominate in. They submit it. And by submitting it, basically they're just ticking the box. As that happens, it flows across through to you. You then approve it, and then they're in your profile against those events. So when you go to print your recording sheets, if only Jack has put his name down for the long jump, then only Jack's name will be on the recording sheets. Even though there was 36 males in his peer group, he'll be the only one on the recording sheet. And the other cool part is, since all this data is all in the one database, then the PBs are live. So we may have nominated Jack a month ago, and now in a month into the future, we're now printing off recording sheets. We're printing off Jack's long jump as of right now. So if he had a cracker of a weekend 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks after we actually nominated him, that PB would still be standing, and that would be the one on his recording sheet. It also means then once we've started entering data into here, in Jack's profile, back in his family area, you would see his long jump from his normal weeks, but then also see his long jump from this gala day that he's been a part of without you having to do anything apart from key in your data. Any questions about that? Okay. Another cool thing is if you're running a gala day or an inter-centre competition and you want to create a bit of extra atmosphere, then the Results Hub is something pretty cool to play with. It has 3 different tabs. The live results coming through on this tab, historical results available on this one, and if it is a points relative event and you've gone and put in the logos for each of the centres attending and running points calc throughout the day, you would then be able to see which centre or which club or whatever it is winning based on points for the day so far. So Results Hub, pretty straightforward as well. Again, go to Event, Calendar, go to the eyeball. So tonight, if I come down to the very bottom and I do Show Live Results, and go Submit, I come up here to Events, Results Hub. In here, here's all the results that we've been playing with tonight. So if I wanted to go to the home screen and put some new results in, we'd see a new tile appear. So I'm just going to open another tab. Going to go to the home screen for tonight, 24th, and we're going to do discus for 7 male. There's nothing in there. And just start throwing some dummy data in there to speed up the process. And then I'm going to save. Come back into this screen here. This little blue line tells him when it's going to refresh. Bang, there we go. So there's the discus that I've just put in. There's the results and the PBs and so on. So think about that. If you're running timing software that's hooked up live, race by race uploading, lots of red bricks are going to be flying in here. If you're running tablets out at discus, long jump, shot put, and you're doing saves at the end of each event, then bang, there's going to be lots of green ones coming in, as well as the red ones, and I think there's one more color for the jumps. I think it's maybe yellow or something like that. So you'd have those different bricks coming through. If you're running points calculations, that would start coming through as well. So I might as well just run a quick points calc. 24, some PB in place. Let's just do an incremental calc. Okay. Where was I? Event, results hub. Come in here to leaderboard, and here we go. Oh, they're all part of the one profile, as in there's only one center in there. So if there were multiples, then it would start having these other competition coming through. If I want to look at historical data, then I can. So that's the results hub. That's how that's working out. Instead of having to log in to view this, you can ask us to set you up a URL, and it won't require anyone logging into your center admin. So on your Facebook, you could just put in a web page, whatever the URL is. I think I've got one set up still. There we go, Geelong XC. So Geelong XC wanted this set up for them. So they would just put this URL on their Facebook. No one has to log in, and this would just have your live results from your day flowing through to it. So that's what that's all about. Just going back to my little slide pack. So that's that. So we've basically covered everything off that I've needed to. It's been an hour and a half now. Any questions, any concerns, thoughts, feedback, anything along those lines?
Yeah, Nick, Daniel here, mate.
Yep.
Yeah, just the ResultsHQ, earlier there was an update. Is that out or is that coming?
The 3 series?
Yeah, the 3 series.
Yeah, so the one I was playing with tonight, if you wanted to go grab that, you can. We will be sending out an email. So I was just trying to get to it. So if you just go to support and just put in ResultsHQ, here's one here, 3 series overview. This lets you see a little video that I put together just describing what it's about, but then it also lets you download it. So if you want to start playing with that new one, you can. We'll be sending an email out hopefully next week.
Great, excellent.
To say, hey everyone, in case you weren't aware, here's the new version, and have a play and transitioning everyone across to it. Good question.
Awesome, thank you.
Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, Nick, I was just a question in regards to when you're using Competition HQ and you're entering in an athlete as a visitor or I guess for a lot of centres, trialists before they register for the season.
Yep.
Can you enter results that will then hold for that athlete if they do become financial and come across from IMG?
Yeah, good question. So, and we're talking purely just with Competition HQ right now, is that right?
Yep.
So if I'm in here and I'm keying in for a particular event, and I've gotten to someone that I don't have in the system, I'm just going to put in a big number. It then brings up so if I put in a number 999 in this case is my default, then I can say, yep, I'm going to call in 999 and their name is Nick, get the spelling right, sorry, Nick Test, 7 male and add. Then I'm then in there as a placeholder. Then let's say later on I need to come back and change me to whatever my real number is, and then I key over the top of that with my real number, then it will bring in who I am, and then I'll be able to upload that data.
Okay, so if for example, Nick Test was a trialist for the first 2 weeks, registered in week 3, and was given number 74,
Yep.
if I then go back into Nick Test and give him number 74 for week 3, will that allow his results that we entered as a trialist for week 1 and 2 to be maintained?
Yeah, so you'd have to track him down in your different weeks and combinations on this screen.
Yeah.
And do that process.
Okay.
And then just hit the upload against him or against that particular age gender combination. The timing software is much easier because it has that default screen to show you anyone that it didn't recognize straight up.
Yes.
This one you have to...
Does the ID allow you to put in a letter number combination or purely just numbers?
Let's just give it a go. From memory, it's always been just numerical. Oh no, it's been happy with that. Let's just continue that off. Oh no, it's not letting me go past go. I think I've got to get rid of the G. Yeah, then I can get on to doing other things.
Okay. So we couldn't put a T in there for our trialists and then keep them consistent for their trial week?
No. And on the trial front, purely for this reason that we're talking about right now, a lot of centres just use that as a bit of a, I guess, a carrot and a stick combined. It's sure, you can jump, you can throw, you can run. I'll give you a pat on the back and a high five, but I won't actually record anything for you until you pay your money. Once you paid your money, then I'll put in the extra effort to record you, and then it'll be much easier for me as well. I won't have this backlog of hunting down and updating information. So that's quite a common way of dealing with trialists out there in other centres, in case that wasn't an idea you'd come across yet.
Yeah, no worries. And I hope that for the others who are still in on the webinar, I'm not sort of taking over, but a couple of other questions while I've got you. Yep. You mentioned Competition HQ and Race HQ are purely PC format at the moment. Is there any sort of thought on making a Mac version of them?
When Competition HQ is Android compatible, so there is an Android app that you can use. As far as iOS for, say, a MacBook or an AirBook or something like that, that's not high on the to-do list currently. The next priority is to do an Apple app version that will work on your tablets or your iPhones, comparable with the Android one that we have. Then potentially do the iOS, MacBook, AirBook scenario at the end of that development schedule.
Okay. Can we have more than one person entering results in different locations? So if someone was to take home the field sheets and someone take home the track sheets,
absolutely,
they could both be entering in competition.
Yeah.
And uploading.
That's it. So if you had 10 competition HQs in the one room, somehow you have got that many people and laptops, then as long as you're keying in your own information, as in where you and I aren't sharing the same bit of paper and trying to key in together, then as long as we're doing individual age gender events, and go for it. That's totally cool.
Brilliant. And you mentioned right at the beginning in regards to some of the hardware, wireless starting device, and did you mention something about a wireless, like a finish trigger type device?
Correct. So the start devices that we sell act as an e-gun, act as a gun that you can connect to your Jex cap gun, so it picks up the percussion, but also there's a trigger button on there, so it does digital start, cap gun start, as well as a digital finish. So instead of me hitting the shift key on my keyboard, if someone's standing over there, wherever that is, pressing the finish button as athletes hit the line, then it saves me hitting the shift key, and now I just have to key in who they are or scan in who they are.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking in terms of maybe a in-between option until we can get the funds to get timing gates.
Yep.
If we were to get a trigger for the start line as well as a trigger for someone at the finish line, they could almost be pressing that button like they would a stopwatch
Correct.
lap time
That's
button.
it.
Okay.
So for that sort of price
Beautiful.
packet,
And how much are those?
yeah. So
Yep.
each start device is around $550 for a start device.
Yep.
And so the maximum you would need is 2, so 1 to start and 1 to finish, unless you start and finish in the same spot like a 400. However, you do need the wireless timing hub, which allows your laptop to A, be a more accurate timing apparatus, and B, talk to those wireless devices. And that's 500. So in theory, you're looking at around $1,500 to do that scenario, or at least 1,100 for your minimum starting point.
Yep, no worries. Thank you.
And then when it comes time to getting gates down the track, then you can take those off your invoice because you've already got those bits, and it's just a matter of getting the uprights and the bases.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions out there?
Yeah, Nick, Daniel again. Just one other question. As you know, sometimes I ring you on a Saturday.
Yes.
Because we're on grass, like we always have alignment issues with our gates, which we're sort of trying to find a solution for. Now, when I was at a regional event down in Geelong, I noticed that they had a tablet with I don't know if it was ResultsHQ or one of your applications where you actually use it as a manual, like a manual stop at the finish line. Do you know what? Could you tell me what that was? Is that Competition HQ or Race HQ? Or?
Maybe they had a Windows tablet.
They had it on a tablet, and
yeah, if they had a Windows tablet, then they could be using Race HQ instead of
So they were probably just
running it that way.
Yeah, because sometimes we're having issues. We're having to get people on the start line with all their smartphones. Like we're just looking for another option, just like if
you've got
we need to because of our alignment problems.
Well, your alignment problem, we just need to sort that out, whatever that is. So we can have a chat about that offline if you want, about getting your gates back to get them investigated, because you should be able to have a gate and move it 20 to 30 centimeters either way without it causing alignment issues. So there shouldn't be a reason for it, apart from if A, it's very drastic at your situation, or B, there's a challenge with some of your gates giving you issues. So we can chat further offline about that if you want, and sort out getting your gates back to have a look at it.
Yeah, we're not too sure.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, we might have to do that because there was a survey that, we definitely would probably look at doing that, I think, at this stage. So
right. We can chat further after if you want about that one.
You got me?
Yeah, it was breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Any other questions?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hello?
No.
Anybody else out there got some?
That must be dropping out a bit.
Okay. Well, if there's no more questions, maybe we can call it a night if that's where you guys are up to.
All good, Nick. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Nick from Kilo. That was good.
Pleasure. Thanks for coming along, everyone. Now I'll be posting that up on YouTube and sending you an email soon. And we'll be able to get your feedback as well off the back of that if you like. But thanks so much for attending tonight. And if anybody wants to hang around and continue chatting, then please do so.
Thanks very much, Nick.
No worries. Thanks, Andrew. All right, just us, Daniel.
You there, Nick?
Yeah, mate. Have I got you still?
I'm getting a little bit of feedback there, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit slow.
Yep. Got you.
I'll call your phone maybe, might be better. Should we do that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'll call your phone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great.
So that's from
See you, mate.
Altona.
Altona, yeah, Daniel
Yep,
from Altona.
no worries.
You've got my
Yep.
number.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.